that picture right there, and he's very proud of this horse, and he should be. And he's also adding, what is it exactly that he's...
The Bowman Bounty.
Okay. And so what does that mean for people?
It is actually a bonus for any colt by Bowman in the futurity this year. The highest advancing colt in that futurity is guaranteed a $5,000 bonus.
Okay. Wow. That's a good bonus.
That's a good
I
bonus.
I would take that bonus.
Especially when you don't even have to win to get it.
Right.
Yeah, that's
just the
true.
highest
The highest
advancing colt.
advancing,
He's going
so-
to give that money away.
Yeah.
Well, it would be nice to receive that money. And you probably have a pretty dang good horse, too, so it's definitely just a
Absolutely.
bonus. Well, the three of you are very instrumental in helping this organization grow. That's what it's all about. Sarah, you mentioned that this is one of the only associations right now that is actually growing in membership.
Right. We launched in January of 2011 officially. We did research and development for some time before that, but our official launch to the world was in January of 2011. And in our first year, we paid out over $750,000 in horse and rider earnings. We jumped to over 1,000 members, and we had over 500 money-earning horses and 350 money-earning riders. In this time, to now in 2012, we've paid out over $1 million in horse and rider earnings, and we have right around 800 money-earning horses, and we're approaching 2,000 members.
That's a lot of horses.
It is. The growth that we've seen has been absolutely phenomenal.
Good for you. So what do you think that it is really that's getting people to continue
Well,
to
we
be involved?
talked about it. The keeping track of the stats is letting people know that that ranch sorting is a true legitimate sport. The breed recognition. You see a lot of the same. You see a lot of the same breed in the rein cow horse and the cutting world. You go to an NSCHA sorting this weekend, you're going to see one-time Peptos, you're going to see highbrow cats, you're going to see Pepto Boom Smalls, dual rays, TRs. I mean, all the top names will be there, will be represented. But what you will see, and this is what's exciting about this industry, is breeders like Gary Stanfield with Bowman Smart Jewel that's not, maybe not throwing all the money at it that a lot of these breeders are. His colts are still being as or more competitive out there in the sorting world because, again, we're looking at a clock. That clock doesn't know your name. It doesn't know your horse's breeding or anything else, but it takes that superior athlete to go out there and be competitive. So you're always going to see those breed recognitions, the Peptos, the highbrow cats, the dual rays, the Cat Itchies, and Nita's Woods, and so on and so forth. But what's got people really intrigued about this is they can afford it. They can afford it. It's family fun. You can go out there and you can accomplish something with your horses and your ability without spending a fortune.
We've seen so much growth in the youth this year. We had several youth that were very competitive last year, but the youth numbers have been phenomenal this year all over the country, everywhere from Minnesota to Georgia to Alabama to Arkansas. We see a lot of youth now, Oklahoma, and it's so exciting to see these kids getting involved and parents being able to go and compete with their children.
Right. I definitely see that as an advantage, that whole family aspect. And Dave, we've talked about you're a producer, so what exactly does it take to put on one of these events and to make it a good event?
Well, it really helps out is that you have very good advertising when you put on a show. I've always wanted to put on a show where I don't have to beg people to ride. And that's what it seemed like I did for years, is begging people to ride. I want to produce a show that riders want to come. Riders are excited to come. And I feel like if I bring the people, the riders are going to come. Well, NSCHA is taking care of all the stats. People are going to ride. They're going to come. They have something to show for.
All right. What about, you talked earlier today about getting the crowd involved and bringing spectators. How are we going to do that?
Well, the first show that I put on in Minnesota for the NSCHA, Rick flew up from Missouri to that show. I had a $10,000 guaranteed payout show. No matter who's coming, what's coming, I'm paying out $10,000. Rick thought I lost my mind.
February, 19 below zero.
3 foot of snow.
3 foot of snow.
3 foot of snow. The temperature is
10,000 guaranteed.
22 below zero. And when
Sounds
we
like
put on that
Montana.
first show, the folks started rolling in for that, and we had a fantastic show. The spectators were excited. They heard about this. They talked about it for months. They were hanging up in the rafters, on the bleachers, on the fence, watching this and cheering it on. And Rick told me, he says, this is what I like about sorting. And that was what was cool to me. It actually drove me to want to produce shows with excitement and quality produced shows. And the NSCHA is making that possible by their way of promoting the shows.
Well, I want to plug Dave just a little bit. Whenever I heard Dave's he's so motivated, and whenever he started announcing, it wasn't just coming from announcer. It was coming from the passion about the sport and, his vision for what this thing needed to be. And, he and I have talked about it. We've got it all. We've got the horse race. We've got the cattle challenge, what do we call it?
Rock concert.
The rock concert, all wrapped up into one. And when you get Dave out there and his announcing skills and, talking about all the exciting things, what's going on in that pen, you just got to get up there and you can't miss anything. The intensity.
It really does matter.
It does. And Dave's got that PBR, or that intensity, that rock concert, to calling the Kentucky Derby all in one shot, and
It's exciting.
it gets intense. It's fun.
Have you found people following horses and paying attention to
Absolutely.
the names of horses?
Absolutely.
And you make mention of the horses' names, and I love that when they do that at barrel races. Or
Absolutely.
wherever you're
Whenever
at.
Brian pulls up the first one, is this Scoot Little Chick? Is this OK Short Stuff? People recognize the horses that won the titles, and they're going out there and doing things every weekend and going to these major events, and absolutely name it. Dave's got several horses that he loves announcing, that just loves their names and how exciting it is to announce it, because he knows they're going to have the intensity when they walk in the pen.
Next up is Brian Kruger on Scoot Little Chick.
Yep.
And
It's exciting.
It
It's
is.
fun.
I love it.